While Americans were enjoying their Thanksgiving holidays with family and friends, they learned that the Obama administration had released an opinion designed to overturn the very law Congress passed and the President signed that intended to cut off federal funding to ACORN. This decision raises obvious questions that now deserve an answer. Is this Barack Obama's payback to the political machine that helped get him elected?
We're going to find out that these roads following ACORN do lead to the White House. We know that the President has worked for ACORN, and he has been part and parcel of that. He has talked about it openly, Project Vote in particular. And yes, I know, pro bono attorney and voter registration in Chicago. Project Vote is part and parcel of ACORN.
The President's ties to ACORN taint any conclusions the Justice Department may reach with regard to whether or not to investigate and prosecute ACORN employees. That's why I have requested that the Attorney General appoint a special prosecutor to oversee the investigation of ACORN.
And this criminal organization can only be described today as a political machine.
In early October, my office was flooded with reports that Northwest Indiana ACORN dropped approximately 5,000 voter registration applications at the Lake County Voter Registration Office during the last few days and hours of the voter registration period. Apart from the chaos that this causes for election administrators to process all that, and under Indiana law and federal law, we are required to process those when we get them to make sure no one's inadvertently disenfranchised. Many of these turned out to be suspicious, incomplete, or unverifiable.
With mountains of evidence, federal law enforcement agencies can no longer ignore the shady actions of ACORN. Because ACORN's criminal conduct appears to be organized and widespread, the FBI should look into whether the organization itself is a criminal enterprise.
As ACORN, in addition to being a criminal enterprise, is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Democratic Party.
Yes, the new White House counsel, Robert Bauer, is the one who sent a 7-page letter to the Attorney General a little over a year ago, urging the Attorney General to investigate President Bush and the McCain organization for alleging that ACORN was promoting fraudulent voter registration activities and arguing that they should be investigated and prosecuted if charges can be found.
I'm not sure why this is a partisan issue, quite honestly. When I get asked as Indiana Secretary of State about where we are with ACORN and our investigation and what's happening, it's not just Republicans asking me. It's Democrats, it's everyone. My office ended up studying copies of 1,438 voter registration applications that had been flagged by the Lake County Board, and evidence of a pattern of voter registration fraud was striking. 26% of the applications evidence that a third party had assisted the intended voter in completing, correcting, or altering the required data. And you should know that Indiana law requires the identification on the application of anyone altering, completing, or updating a voter registration application. However, only 3 of the altered applications identified any third party whatsoever. 22% of the ACORN applications appeared to be multiple applications prepared by the same individual.